For everything from video games, comic books, films, and beyond, you're listening to the Geek Guy Podcast with your host, Albert Albanese, here on the Slam Sessions Podcast Network. Welcome, everyone, to the Geek Guy Podcast. I'm Albert Albanese, and as always, if you want to follow us on Twitter, hit us up at the Slam Sessions on Twitter. And now you can actually follow us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/the Slam Sessions Podcast Network. So that's a little bit new. Throw a little like in there. Show some love. Speaking of showing some love today, I actually, for something I've wanted to do for a while, I've got somebody in studio with me on the Geek Guy Podcast. My friend Tom Melendez. Tom, say hi to everybody.
Hey. What's going on, everyone?
So Tom is actually, this is the perfect show to get you to be brought on because we're talking Logan.
Sweet. Just saw it last night.
It's perfect. I got to see it on Friday, and we have. So we have, we both have pretty strong opinions on the film, but Tom's actually read the Old Man Logan comic, which gives him a little bit more of an insight of where that where they base a lot of this character, this new Wolverine character or older Wolverine character, if you really want to get technical. Yeah. Out of. So that's going to be interesting. We're also going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. We're going to start the show with that. And also a little bit of a controversy with Finn Jones, who plays Danny Rand in Iron Fist. And we're going to get into that a little bit. Not too much. We don't want to get too, controversial on the show. But, it's kind of something worth mentioning. So
definitely.
So we're going to start off with Guardians. Now, I'm guessing you saw the new trailer, right?
Oh, God, of course. The third one, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm glad they came out with a third one. I've been watching over and over. The first, then the second. Now I got a third one to watch over and over.
It's one thing about Guardians that I've really liked it during their trailers. They don't give a lot away.
Thankfully.
So, we have new characters like Mantis, who I don't know anything about Mantis. And that's a good thing because now I'm going to go and I'll watch this film and I'll learn all about Mantis.
Yeah, that works.
We don't know what side Nebula's on. We see her shooting at Gamora. We see her, on the same side as the Guardians.
Having a good chit-chat with, what's it called, Batista there?
Drax.
There you go.
Drax the Destroyer, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, his real name.
Going with the real names now. And, but, of course, I mean, the second trailer kind of got stolen by Baby Groot just being Baby Groot.
Yeah, of course. Everyone loves Baby Groot. I mean, to have a superhero movie and to actually have like an infant by your side, that's great.
It's so good.
Who's gonna do that? Marvel did.
It's perfect. Like they are really. Oh my God. The one thing I do have to say about Marvel is that they know their fan base, they know their audience, and it was a risk to do the first film.
Yeah.
I mean, you had
Big time.
A bunch of characters who nobody's really ever heard of before, a villain that nobody really ever heard of before in Ronan.
Yeah.
And, your main, so you have star power with Zoe Saldana playing Gamora, Peter Quill being played by Chris Pratt. So you have star power in the film, and, Vin Diesel doing the Groot voice, and Bradley Cooper doing Rocket Raccoon's voice. So you have like all this star power. Two of them you never see on screen.
Yeah,
and two of them are really up and coming, people. So they really took a really big gamble in introducing Guardians. And you ask a lot of people, that's one of their favorite Marvel movies. Out of every Marvel movie we've seen, it's like top 3 for most people.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Hell yeah! I mean, just having a raccoon on your team also. I mean, come on.
It's a raccoon, a giant tree, a human, a friggin', violent death guy who's got like scars all over his body, a big green girl. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. And now we're adding Yondu into the mix, which I know you were talking to me earlier about Yondu, which is actually something I wasn't really 100% aware of.
I think it's awesome that Yondu's going to be in part 2 and part of their team also because, when Guardians of the Galaxy first came out in comics, he was part of the original team, and to have him get back into the Guardians of the Galaxy team is great, You don't have any of the original members except Yondu. So technically, he is the OG of the Guardians.
And that's cool because, the thing that they did with Guardians is they pieced together a team from different Guardians teams throughout the years, and they kind of put them into this, this brand new category. And I like the fact that they went back and they went to the original and they said, all right, let's pull something out for some of the fans that have maybe been fans of Guardians of the Galaxy since the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was a good move on their part, to have him there. Plus, he's so powerful in the movie. Like what that little pen whistle of his. Yeah, what is that?
It's so beastly though.
Jesus, you take his character and you put it into any other movie, it's he'll seal the deal. Imagine him in the Aliens movie.
Oh my
or
God,
Predators.
Yeah, he just walk in, boom, dead.
I wouldn't even. Does he own a dog? That'd be terrible.
Oh, that'd be awful.
He'd probably kill them every time.
Yeah, no, he probably can't have a dog for that reason.
Oh, God, that'd be terrible.
And we got a huge reveal at the very end.
Oh, yeah.
We got the first time we got to see in the trailer, we got Ego.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, too, because what's his name? Kurt Russell's playing
yes.
the Living Planet himself. I just hope that they show Ego, the living planet. Like, I want to see the actual planet. I want to see a face on it and everything like that, I want to see it slowly orbiting or moving, in space. I don't want to just see Kurt Russell's face, and that's it.
Yeah.
He's a handsome man, but, I want to see the planet.
No, absolutely. I agree. It's funny because Green Lantern has their own planet it's a Green Lantern. It's a planet.
Yeah. Oh,
and, but my biggest concern always is going back to the Fantastic Four film. Galactus was basically, the eater of worlds, and my God, that was the worst representation you could ever make of a villain.
Man, he was just like, he didn't look good at all. It was just a pollution cloud,
Yeah.
What was up with that? Whatever.
And that's my fear. I want Ego to be a planet, but I know, and I know Marvel will probably do this right. They
haven't failed us yet.
I completely agree. There are some people that may disagree. They might say some of the movies they weren't big crazy fans of. Iron Man 3 being the one that stands out to most people. Which
okay, you got me there.
yeah. I mean, but even still, by normal standards, Iron Man 3 is not a bad film whatsoever. It's just comparatively to all the other Iron Man films, to all the other Marvel entities that we've gotten, it's kind of the weakest one.
Yeah.
But
but it's still a great movie.
It's still a great movie.
Solid 7. Still, I mean, after I think it's one of those movies that you have to watch like again and then really appreciate what's going on.
The first time I watched it, I was like, ooh. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, oh, you know what? That wasn't as bad as I remembered it being.
Yeah. Plus, you see it in theaters and it's all hype and it didn't come off as good as the first two, sure.
Yeah.
But when you watch it again, you get to appreciate the vast like numbers of armors that they managed to throw into the movie at the end. I still think he's crazy for blowing up all his suits. I mean, does he have insurance on these things?
I don't know.
God,
but then again,
hate him.
when he has that much money,
does
it really matter?
True. Yeah, that's true.
And I do. I mean, we're getting off on a tangent here, but who gives a crap? It's my podcast. I can do whatever the hell I want.
It's fun.
I do like that. After Iron Man 3, they did Avengers 2. And there was no explanation. All of a sudden, Tony had suits again.
Yeah.
And I loved how in Civil War he threw that out there, that he was in that scene with Captain America where he's trying to get him to sign the Sokovia Accords. Mm-hmm. He's basically said, oh well, my relationship went to crap, and then all of a sudden I built more suits, and then I was and now I have more suits, and then so they because there was always that empty thing in between where we were like, well, what Tony destroyed his suits in 3, and now all of a sudden he's flying around in a suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's making fun of Captain America, who yelled at him for cursing.
Language.
So perfect.
Yeah, that was good. It's good that it's just so entertaining for adults and for the fan base and all the kids also. It's great. Marvel's awesome.
And that's actually a really good lead-in to Logan, but I mean we're going to touch on that in a little bit. Marvel has, and this is a great thing with Guardians too. Marvel has created a universe that is safe for children and for adults. I mean, children who are, really, if you can sit there and you can see, a 7 or 8 year old going to the movies, seeing a Marvel movie. And there not being too many instances where parents are going to try to cover their eyes or cover their ears.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
and I respect that about Marvel because look, Deadpool, amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So great. Such a great R-rated superhero movie. It's the one we've always wanted.
Yep. It's great for kids, too, if you want. No, don't take your kids to see it. No, don't do that.
Well, ironically, I was going to say Logan was R-rated, and it's sure as hell, there's a girl sitting in front of me who's got to be 9 years old
Oh,
to see that movie.
She's going to be as violent as X-23 when she gets older.
And the opening scene where the one thing that sticks to me, God, I want to talk about this movie so bad. Wait. All right. Real quick, though. The one thing that stuck to me is in the very beginning where he took his claw and he shoved it into that guy's head and you can see his scalp almost come off.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it was so violent and so beautiful.
It was. It was like, Jesus, man. You could replace Logan with the Kool-Aid Man and then just have him knocking through everyone. And, you ain't even need the blood. You just have Kool-Aid splashing onto the ground.
I like that. So, all right. So, real quick, closing on Guardians. This is one of the most anticipated movies, I think, for me coming out.
Yeah, this year, I think it's definitely up there. I mean, I don't know though. Homecoming is coming out too. That's big.
It's a big year. Thor Ragnarok 2.
Oh yeah, that's
Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
There's,
Ooh.
I mean,
Wonder Woman.
But that's the thing, though. We have a bunch of really great comic book movies coming out. I mean, if you really want to get technical, Power Rangers is also based a part of a comic too.
True.
There's a lot of really good nostalgic characters coming to the big screen for us this year, and I think that to say Guardians is not at the top of that list for anybody is crazy. I mean, it's it's going to be one of the biggest movies.
Yeah, you just have to assume, it's a safe bet. You know?
All right, so we'll move on from that. We'll go into really quick. For those of you who don't know what happened, I'm going to run it down real quick. Danny Rand, Danny Rand's the character. Finn Jones is the actor he's going to play Danny Rand in Iron Fist.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a big controversy to actually cause Danny Rand, I'm going to keep calling him Danny Rand, Finn Jones, to delete his Twitter. There was a lot of talk.
He deleted it?
He deleted his Twitter. His explanation was that he's working on this character, and that's what he cares about right now, and he doesn't want any distractions. But it came right after a really big backlash as it pertains to, him doing this character, and the idea that there was an Asian American actor who was actually interviewed to be on the Iron Fist, and everybody kind of wanting him to go that way, but they decided to cast Finn Jones instead. Real quick, I'm actually gonna see if I can find the
exact article.
The quote. I have the article in front of me, and of course, I had it all set up so I can just go in here and look at it, and it doesn't want to load the right way. So that always is the way it happens. But okay,
I just don't understand why everyone's so butthurt.
I agree.
What's the big deal? You all loved your Chuck Norris jokes. Well, guess what? He's a very accomplished martial
artist.
Boom. There you go.
There it is. No, exactly. Now, here it is. This is Finn Jones' actual quote. There's a huge benefit to engage and help shape conversation on social media, especially when it comes to giving a voice to social matters. My original intention was to amplify a speech made by Riz Ahmed at the House of Commons. It was a very articulate and important speech on representation that I wholly agree with. After posting, I was inundated by people accusing me of not being allowed to share his voice based on an assumption that our show is going to play into the problems of racial inequality on screen. I engaged politely, diplomatically, and attempted to bridge the divide. I'm currently in the middle of filming, and I need to stay focused on bringing to life this character without judgment, so I decided to remove myself from Twitter for the time being. So, I mean, the controversy here is that, Finn Jones, came out and said he's all about having more racial equality, as it comes to being in Hollywood. But people then called him out on it and said, well, you're a white guy playing Danny Rand, which I didn't understand because Danny Rand is a white guy.
Yeah, in the comics, right?
Yeah.
So, I just don't see the big deal, Like, did they want him to be an Asian American just because he's the Iron Fist and it would fit the stereotype of his style of combat if they had an Asian American?
Yeah, I mean,
are people comfortable with that?
Isn't it even more racist than Finn Jones being cast to play a white guy?
Yeah, I just don't get it. I mean, I don't know. Just butthurt.
Seriously, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, and we talk about, the idea of, maybe there being too many white guys being casted as main characters. But let's take a look at what we're seeing now. We have Black Panther, which is going to be a predominantly black movie.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's more than 3 white guys in there, I'll actually be surprised. And
true that.
Nobody's complaining about it.
Oh, of course not. I mean, it's Black Panther. Why not?
Exactly. We had Ant-Man. One of his sidekicks was Hispanic.
Yeah.
So,
true.
We're not sitting here and we're not going to count out, and I'm not going to, talk about every character that we have that may not be white. But I mean, if everybody complains about Marvel maybe being a little bit too white before Black Panther, but they changed Nick Fury, who was a white guy, into Samuel L. Jackson, who's a black man.
Yeah. And he's so great. He's
perfect,
right?
He's so perfect.
He's so cool, man. I'm just waiting for him to drop that MF word.
No, yeah, it's got to happen. There has to be a deleted scene somewhere where he does
like
it.
After credits of him just saying it over and over as Nick Fury.
And then also,
Michael Clark Duncan.
You pointed that out to me earlier. Michael Clark Duncan was casted as Kingpin in the first Daredevil film.
Awesome.
Yeah, So I mean, we're talking about casting these characters not based upon the actors who want to play them, but it's also based upon the actors who are best suited to play them. Yeah. And I'm sorry I don't have his name, and it's going to make me sound even worse, being that my argument is against it. But the Asian American actor who was vying for the part of Danny Rand got casted in Iron Fist. It's not like they pushed him off to the side and said, you can't be in this at all. They casted him as another role. I believe he might be the main villain in the or one villain in there. So they're not strictly saying, oh no, it can only be white people that can be on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Luke Cage there wasn't. What is that? Was there one really? There was one white guy really throughout the entire series that was kind of like,
that I know of, yeah.
Yeah, the guy who I can't remember his name. The guy who assisted Diamondback. He was like, he was like the white guy in the whole series. The rest of that main cast was predominantly black.
Yeah, I mean, and it takes place in Harlem, right?
Yeah.
So that's great. I mean, I don't know. I think people are just gonna end up complaining whether or not they get their way. It's just something. Some people just want to complain.
I completely agree. I think this is an issue that should have been a non-issue that became an issue.
Yeah,
and it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not suited for casting actors and actresses. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if that's who they're casting, I'm gonna go with it.
Right. And the one thing I have to say about Marvel is that unlike maybe some other series that we've seen that some of these characters are maybe popular beforehand, Marvel's done a really solid job in casting their actors for all these roles. I mean, can you name somebody who you can complain about that you think somebody else could have done better? Because I really can't. I loved Ed Norton as the Hulk, but I think Mark Ruffalo was doing a great job as the Hulk.
I think Mark is just a better Bruce Banner overall.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, definitely. Like that first Hulk movie was just like, it was the Hulk. When you had Bruce Banner, you're like, what movie is this?
Yeah.
It's
true.
The smartest thing Bruce Banner did in that movie was he fixed the remote for the conveyor belt, in the soda factory.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Bruce Banner.
You're our hero.
Thanks.
And then he dropped his own damn blood into that soda, and then Stan Lee got all Stan Hulk.
That delicious soda. Radioactive.
I mean, I agree. But yeah, no, I don't. There's no complaints. I don't have any casting complaints that Marvel Studios has done. So if they think Finn Jones is the right guy, because Mike Coulter was obviously the right guy for Luke Cage. Kristen Ritter was the right cast.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Kristen Ritter was the right cast for Jessica Jones.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, Charlie Cox was right for Daredevil.
Yeah.
And John Bernthal was an amazing Punisher.
Yeah, he is really good. He is great as Punisher.
He really is.
He even got the look and everything that.
He's everything. I saw him in a Comic-Con panel, and cool. He did it. He did his interview, and I just sat there, and I was like, "That's Punisher. That is Punisher." Mm-hmm. So I mean, you can just see, even just by judging by the Netflix series, Marvel knows what they're doing. So let's not question them and throw out a race card for no reason.
Yeah, I know it's a little unnecessary. At least in my opinion. But you know what? There was one person they could have casted better. Who was the guy who played Quicksilver in Age of Ultron?
I think that was Aaron Tyler Stevens. I want to say maybe that was it.
Yeah, I'm terrible with real names.
Yeah, I think that's
in a fantasy
right.
World.
I might be wrong. Somebody's going to correct me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? With him, I think he was perfect. He just needed to run a little faster. Maybe he would have. Maybe he would have lived, you know?
Operation Human Shield.
You know? Get a faster guy.
Should have got a faster guy.
You know? Like quicker Silver.
Yeah. Quicker Silver. I like that. Well, I mean, that's an interesting, segue into what we're going to talk about. I mean, we had Quicksilver in both the Fox universe and in the Marvel universe. Yeah. And, I think Fox might have handled that a little bit better.
Yeah, I think so too. Everyone seemed to have liked his appearance in Fox better.
I mean, for me, it was better.
I just like that he's a child of divorce from Fox and Marvel, and he gets to see both of them. Yeah, that's a happy ending.
I mean, and theoretically, Scarlet Witch will probably have that same if they choose to go that way. Honestly,
which they won't.
Well, and that's the thing. That's what gets me mad. I actually, I always thought that. We talked about how you didn't see Age of Ultron. I wanted like the new X-Men film that's coming out. And I think they're doing the Dark Phoenix saga. I would love to see Wanda Maximoff get involved in that somehow because I feel like they haven't said Scarlet Witch in the Marvel universe yet. I feel like she's just been Wanda.
Yeah,
and that maybe that's something weird that Fox maybe owns the Scarlet Witch name. Or maybe Marvel just doesn't want to say it.
They did dance around with it. Didn't somebody call her a witch in Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
I believe so. But they never really like kind of set it out in stone.
Yeah.
So.
They didn't call her the Scarlet Witch.
Right.
No.
Well, yeah, we're talking about Fox, and I guess let's get into the main course. Let's talk about Logan.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Just saw it last night.
So now, we talked a little bit about this before we got on air. As far as a number grading, I gave it a 9 out of 10.
I gave it a 7.
And it's good because this breeds a little bit of a talk about and a conversation about the film in itself. Quite honestly, for me, I think this is one of the best films I've seen in a long time. Take away superheroes, take away powers, take away comic books.
Yeah.
As a film, this movie was fantastic.
Yeah, it was definitely a great movie. I like the whole fact that the world's kind of messed up, but it's still operational. It gives a more realistic feel because, come on, it couldn't have been totally like apocalyptic.
Yeah, of course. We're not gonna. We know that there's no mutants left.
Yep.
It seems like it
was like a glitch in the evolutionary chain of human race and whatnot.
Right. And we see that there are only a handful left.
Yeah.
The ones that are now older seem to be the only ones who are functioning. Were just Professor X, who is really in bad shape.
Oh yeah.
Wolverine, who is in maybe not mentally as bad as shape, but physically deteriorating. And Caliban seemed to be the only one who maybe was kind of even mostly functioning out of all of them.
Yeah, I know. He was making the most sense. I
felt
bad for him.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, should we have said spoiler alert or something like that?
Oh, yeah, no. I already put up this is going to be very spoilery.
Oh, yes. You did say it earlier. Well, just in case.
Yeah, look, if you haven't seen the movie, first of all, if you haven't seen the movie, you shouldn't be listening to this. You should be pausing this.
Yep.
And you should be going and watching the film, and then you should come back and hit play.
Boom.
Yeah, because you're going to want to hear what we have to say, but you need to see this film.
Yeah, you got to have your own opinion, so,
Absolutely.
Buy that ticket.
Yeah, do it.
It's a good one.
Do it.
Do it.
So, all right, so let's go into it a little bit. We open up. Wolverine's he's a limo driver.
Yeah.
And he's
pretty cool looking limo.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the grill on that.
Yeah, the badass Chrysler limo,
Yeah, right. Chrysler, I was impressed.
Yeah, they did a good job.
They'll probably screw it up and won't come out with it.
No, definitely not.
Damn it.
I'd be releasing that thing like 6 days after the film.
Come on, Chrysler.
But we start the film off, and there's a couple of Mexican guys trying to steal some rims off of Wolverine's of his ride.
Come on, you cholos. Giving Trump more things to say.
Yeah, look, I just want to, just in case anybody isn't aware, Tom is Hispanic, so he can get away with saying that. I'm not. I'd probably get killed.
I want to be casted into a Marvel movie. There's not enough Hispanics.
There you go. See, look, racism. Now, that first scene, though, sets the tone for that entire movie.
Yeah.
Here's James Howlett he's not Logan. He's going by his birth name.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't, realize. Wolverine was a runaway, basically.
Yeah.
So he adopted the name Logan.
That was so long ago, too.
Yeah. And then that's how, that's where, when a lot of people are talking about, man, where did James Howlett come from? That's his real name. His biological government name is James Howlett.
Yeah.
And we see him, and he's like, stop! You're gonna strip my, my, what's it called? The hell, I can't think of the name of him.
You're gonna strip my the nuts off of
the bolts
chrome,
off.
You're gonna strip the bolts. The chrome bolts.
Right, and
don't do that.
You can see he's so hard. So hard. He's just trying not to flip out, and you can see he's trying not to break those claws out.
Yeah,
and. They push him, and they beat on him, and then all of a sudden he does. And, man, does that get violent in 5 seconds.
Yeah, that was... Man. that was like watching my guy at my local deli cut my deli meats.
Oh, my God. It was
great.
It was vicious. It was so awesome.
I wanted a sandwich immediately after watching that.
Well, my thing is this. They set the tone for the film with Hugh Jackman doing interviews and saying this is the Wolverine film that fans really want. It's R-rated, it's gritty, it's Wolverine for who Wolverine is.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it before, but it bears repeating. He scalps a guy with his claws.
Oh, I know.
It is so I saw that and I went, oh, I didn't know I wanted this so bad, but I did.
Man, he should have gone into a business of selling toupees, instead of being a limo driver, because it was a clean cut.
It really was. It was pretty good for somebody who's old and doesn't look like he's got all of his eyesight there and everything. It was a pretty good cut.
Yeah, that was good.
So, we set the tone right there, and we know that this is going to be a vicious movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess we'll kind of, instead of, we're not going to sit here. We can be here for 7 hours going over this whole thing, piece by piece. So let's get into a little bit more like the characters. Right. We see that Logan is now caring for Professor X. We see Caliban is there with him, who's helping out. They seem to be the 3 oldest functioning mutants on the planet.
Yeah.
And, so, I mean, let's talk a little bit about Professor X. We see him in that first scene. Man.
Oh, man. I immediately thought to myself, he definitely shits himself. He's in a wheelchair, can't levitate, nothing.
That does bring up a really good point. I mean, we see Wolverine help him take a leak, but I mean,
was he leaking?
No, I
thought he was going number 2.
Oh, maybe he was. Maybe he was dropping a deuce. It could have been. But we see Wolverine putting him on the toilet. I didn't see a toilet in there though, so I don't know where he went while he was in that converted nuclear silo or water tower.
Yeah, that was. That's true. Maybe they turned his wheelchair into a moving toilet.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
That'd
be smart.
I hope that's the case. Should put that in cars too.
I should probably patent that.
This is a great idea. Write that down.
Yeah.
So, but you can see his condition is awful. He's being medicated. He's having like these awful. There's basically a problem in the most powerful brain in the world. They say it. Xander Rice's character actually says it in the film. Mm-hmm. There's like something wrong with the most powerful brain on the planet.
Yeah, that's kind of dangerous if you ask me. That's
right.
like having an oven that leaks gas, but you gotta cook dinner.
Yeah, it's not a good situation for you to be in.
Oh yeah, no, not good at all.
One of the big things that I think everybody was kind of confused on early is why is Logan drugging this old man?
Oh yeah, he seemed like he just wanted him to shut up.
Yeah, it seemed like take your pills. You're not allowed to use your powers. And I'm like, I don't know why.
Leave him alone, you bully.
Yeah. Why are you being such a jerk?
Back off, bub.
Oh, that's perfect. So, and then it comes to find out that he's trying to suppress a pretty bad memory.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, this is something that maybe some people missed in the film. They're coming right out of Vegas after he freezes all those guys in this hotel room, and Wolverine cuts them down one by one and injects them.
Paralysis.
Yeah,
like some sort.
Yeah, paralysis, and Wolverine comes in and cuts them up, which is really cool.
Oh, I felt so bad for them.
Nah, they didn't even see it coming.
No, they did. That one guy at the door, he looked right at him.
He looked. He was like, "Oh crap!"
He thought about his son, his wife, his smoking hot wife, who's who's now single.
Well,
thanks, Logan.
Yeah, good job, Logan. So, he injects him with that thing, and
Oh yeah, the magic serum.
Yeah, now stops him a little bit, and now they're driving back, and they say that there was an incident that happened in Westchester. Yeah. That was very similar and killing a lot of people. And it's at that point also when we see later on in the film where I guess Wolverine 2.0 comes in.
Oh, yeah.
X-24, I think, was his second name in the film. Yep. Comes in and stabs Professor X. He kind of figures out that he's the reason why there's no mutants.
Yeah. I guess so, I mean, they didn't really elaborate too much with it, They kind of left us hanging with that.
I mean, I guess it's safe.
Unless I missed something.
Well, I guess it's safe to assume that that something went wrong and he wiped everybody out.
Yeah.
But, in talking about the Old Man Logan comic, that's completely different than what happened in the comic.
So what happened in the comic was a lot of the supervillains figured out, if we just work together like X-Men and the Avengers, we'd probably come up on top. And you know what? They were very correct. So they found that Mysterio would be the best opponent for Logan. And what he did was that he didn't just deceive Logan's eyes. He deceived his sense of smell. And what ended up happening was that Logan was under the impression he was being attacked by all these villains, when in fact it was pretty much every member of Charles Xavier's school, all his fellow X-Men, that he practically just hacked to pieces, And really dark, actually. Really dark scene in the comic books. But I guess in the movie, they made it seem like Professor X was the one who took everyone out,
and in terms of changes, this is kind of something that I liked, only because it didn't seem like for a little while there were any stakes for Professor X.
Yeah.
It was just, oh, here comes this little girl, we have to help her. Logan, we need to help her. And then it's like, okay.
Pick me up, I gotta take a dump.
Yeah, but it's like, what was he there for? What was the weight? What was the levity of his character? And I think they gave it to him because we know what the levity of Wolverine's character is. It's the same levity that he's had his entire life.
Yep.
What he teaches X-23, you killed these people and you're gonna have to deal with it, even if they're bad.
Yep.
You have to deal with it, and
carry that burden.
Exactly. Logan's saying is, I'm the best there is at what I do. Yeah.
Carrying burdens.
Carrying burdens and slashing people to pieces.
Oh yeah.
So with that, let's get into X-23 a little bit.
Oh, she's adorable.
Isn't she so cute?
Oh, my God. I would love to bring her to, like, Disney World and be like, go have fun, kiddo. Just do whatever you want.
Just run free.
Yeah. Have fun. Genocide, you said? Oh, okay.
Oh, well. Just keep those claws away from me and we'll be all right.
Exactly. She'll definitely have whatever allowance she wants.
Yes, absolutely. She can have whatever she wants.
Don't hurt me.
Please. So I think one of the funnier things about X-23 is we see in the first scene that she's, we don't even see her get physical. She's sitting inside, she's eating her cornflakes, and you hear a couple of gunshots and you hear some violent screaming, and she comes out with a severed head and rolls it at Donald Pierce's feet.
Man.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I love this girl.
She's a great bowler.
Yeah, that was a solid strike right there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And the best part about that scene is that my wife turned over and looked at me and she said, if we have a kid, I want one just like that. And I went, this is why I married you.
Oh, man.
How great was she, though? I mean, that whole character, her essence throughout the entire film, basically being mute, finally getting, using her voice. And when she did, just everything she said has gravity.
Yeah. Another Spanish character.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or was she Spanish, or was she just raised in Mexico and we don't even know if she was Spanish or not? She spoke Spanish.
Oh, man, another
whitewashing all these films. How much whiter could Caliban have got, man?
Come on.
Son of a bitch.
They're like, we want someone real white. Like, he can't even touch the sun.
Exactly. We want him to be that white. So, yeah, I mean, X-23, I think she was phenomenal. She did a great job.
Yeah,
I love the foot claws.
Yeah.
That was a great touch.
Yeah, that's true.
And I loved the explanation of it.
Yeah,
Professor X.
With the lioness.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
And
I didn't check to see if it was true.
I'm sure it is. Professor X is rarely wrong.
I don't know.
He's very smart.
He was like, a little crazy in the end,
A little bit. Something I noticed that I don't think a lot of people picked up on. You notice his hair grew back?
Oh, Professor X?
Yeah, so I mean,
I guess he just
didn't care. No more Cerebro,
no
hey,
more upkeep.
Yeah, I don't need to keep cutting my hair. I don't have to do Cerebro anymore. I don't need to locate mutants. But
yeah, he probably got a lot. Like it would yank at the hair when he would put that helmet on. So it'd probably be annoying.
Maybe. I think that they said, I think Beast had said when he built it that it would be better to just shave his head because it would be better for it for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember. There was an explanation. But as we've said before, you did not see First Class, so
don't
you
hate
wouldn't
me,
know
everyone.
that.
I'm sorry. And I own
Watch it.
It's just collecting dust. I don't know. I lost faith.
No. I know X-Men 3 was terrible.
Yeah.
But
I totally lost my faith in it.
But First Class was...
It's coming back.
Yeah, First Class was really solid. I love Days of Futures Past. Apocalypse didn't get a lot of good reviews, but I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
I didn't really look into it once I saw that Apocalypse kind of looked like Ivan Ooze.
Yeah, but that was rectified. That was a first
I heard.
Picture.
But it left such a bad taste in my mouth, that I just didn't go see it. But Logan I went to see, so... Don't worry, everyone. Hold on to your panties. I'm going to watch the rest of the movies. I own them, so I probably should.
Yeah.
Just get a big bag of popcorn at CVS and get to it.
Do it.
I'm going to.
So that was the other part to me was that I realized his hair had grown back, and I was like, oh, Cerebro. I was like, oh, well, I guess he has nothing to find mutants. Wait a minute. He's been communicating with Laura this entire time.
Yeah, that's right.
So Professor X has now gotten so advanced...
He doesn't
even need Cerebro. And that, to me, speaks so much about another reason why Logan was keeping him under wraps. I mean, think about how powerful he is now.
The government probably wanted him.
Oh, absolutely.
They wanted to, put him on a plane, wheelchair and all, and just drop him.
Yeah, just really far underneath the world.
Do your thing, Charles.
See you later. We'll come back for you, maybe. So, I mean... The movie was emotional, though. We talk about how X-23 was experimented on. They have all these other kids.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, that was really terrible. But I mean, the first thing that really hits you hard is seeing this X-24 walk into that room and just stab Charles in the chest.
Yeah, what's up with that, man? Jeez,
that killed me.
I know, right?
I was like, I know Charles is going to die in this film.
Yeah.
I know it for a fact. There's no way he's making this out of this alive. But man, that sucked.
I thought he'd go a lot more peaceful, like roll downhill or something like
that. Wow, that's not that peaceful.
Maybe I'm cruel. I don't know.
Just a little bit. The one thing that I did take away from that is I like the fact that they didn't go the X3 route. With how Wolverine wound up having to kill Jean Grey to save everybody.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that by the trailers, we kind of saw something like that where, he was coming at him with something, and we're not realizing now is that it was that medicine to keep him good.
Yes.
And to keep those seizures away. Mm-hmm. I thought that was going to be, he just flipped himself so much, and there was nothing that he can do, and Wolverine had to put him out of his misery. And they didn't do that.
Thank God.
And I liked that they didn't do that. But what I didn't like is the fact that we got X-23, right? And she's Wolverine's daughter. She's a test tube daughter. All these other kids are test tube kids for other mutants. Mm-hmm. But they went with this route with this X-24 character, which I don't know.
Yeah, I was.
I wasn't crazy about it.
Neither was I. You know what? They could have made that character way more interesting if they just I don't know. Maybe they should have put him in that yellow suit, that armor him up with that yellow suit. I wanted to see that suit, all right? I'm going to talk about that for a little bit.
No, do it, because that's been a complaint about all the X-Men films.
Yeah.
We've gone through them all, and we haven't seen Wolverine in the classic brown and yellow, and we haven't seen him in the blue and yellow.
Yeah, exactly. What's up with that? Yeah, I get it. It doesn't look like it's yellow spandex. I get it. Just don't make him as bright as the sun, Just maybe, there's look, we're guys here, so I guess there's yellow and then there's yellow, but really you got different shades. You could go for a darker shade.
You can mute it a little bit.
Yeah, don't go for the blue. Go for the safe bet, which is the darker yellow and the brown to go with it. There's a picture online I saw of the suit.
Yeah.
That was impressive to me.
That was perfect to me.
Hey, did you guys not see Avengers, the first one? Like, did you not see what Captain America was wearing? Did he not look awesome regardless?
Exactly.
Come on, So
I've always been a big proponent on putting them in their original costumes, and I know you didn't see Apocalypse.
No, I did not.
But they did try to get close there.
I saw pictures of Jubilee, and she was pretty close with her original costume.
Yeah,
right?
She was
very close, right?
A lot of Psylocke was very close.
Psylocke was really close.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them were.
Baby.
Well, so but a lot of them really were. I think that this was kind of like one of those things. I guess maybe it wasn't this film, and maybe it shouldn't have been this film. But if that's the case, they obviously this is way in the future. So whatever X-Men film is next, if they want to include a new Wolverine, they got to put that actor in the suit, and they got to get Hugh Jackman to come back for like 5 minutes in the film.
Anything.
And wear it. Just because I need to see Hugh Jackman in that costume.
You know what? I was really hoping. I was hoping the same thing. I want to see Hugh Jackman in it. I mean, he deserves it. The guy played Wolverine for how many years?
16 years.
16 years. You could have given birth and then had to start like laying out money for a sweet 16. That's how long this man has played this character, and he's never gotten into his original suit. Come on. You know what they could have did? They could have gave us a little more Easter eggs also, and then maybe even give us an Easter egg of, I don't know, a briefcase left for Logan. He found, he obtained it somehow, and through the final battle, he opens the suitcase, and maybe he reads a note from one of his past fellow X-Men that says, "I know you wouldn't wear this, but just in case." Maybe he can even talk about how crappy the color is, but put it on. You're weaker than what you usually are,
right.
know? So
you need all the help you can get.
That last battle, he should have just like opened up the briefcase, seen the serum to hype him up, and the suit, put on the suit, go nuts in that suit.
Yeah.
Everyone would have loved it. I would have stood up and
applauded.
Like, yeah. Oh, yeah, standing ovation and everything.
Yes!
I think everyone would have.
I think so.
But, it was out of Marvel hands.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the problem.
Let's talk about that final battle scene for a little bit.
It was really good. It was good.
Between him and the X-23 team up.
Yeah.
Her jumping off his back and doing a somersault and jabbing her claws in that guy's neck. I mean, badass.
Yeah.
Totally badass.
That looked very familiar. What she looked like? I see that it's the popular thing to do with a lot of these female characters in superhero movies, but they, make them jump around a lot, like almost like Scarlet.
Black Widow.
Black Widow, yes. I almost said Scarlet Witch. Yeah, man. And it was very familiar. Remember when she jumped up and she like shocked these security guards?
Yes.
It was like almost the same stance.
But except for the fact that it was 2 claws to the neck that murdered him.
Oh, yeah.
It killed him dead.
Big difference. Yeah, that's true.
The violence in that movie.
Yeah, oh my God.
So awesome, though.
So good.
It was a Wolverine film.
Don't bring your kids.
Do not bring your kids to see this movie.
Unless you want to have like Charles Manson as your kid.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to want to turn your children into murder bots, this is the movie to go see. Honestly, I gave it a 9 out of 10 because of the emotion.
7.
Yeah, I know, and I'm going to talk to you about why I actually dropped it down from a 10 to a 9. I didn't like the villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was disappointing to me. I understand, okay, so we have Donald Pierce, we have Xander Rice, and then we have X-24. I just didn't see. Obviously, there was a threat, but I mean, X-24 got blown up by a shotgun and then a car and got pinned down.
Yeah.
That could have been anything that happened to the actual Wolverine at any point. So I don't know. I didn't like that. That was like. It seemed like he was easily defeated. I know he survived and he was brought back to life, but it almost seemed like he was a little too easily defeated. But that final scene, man, was he a beast?
Yeah, he went nuts. I mean, he's an old man, so the fact that he had that much fight in him was great. But
even after that serum wore off on him.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Oh man, the detail on his ribs when he was at that doctor's office.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man, that looked like roast beef.
He, obviously the healing factor is not working. A lot of people,
Not as well, yeah.
a lot of people thought, how do you kill Wolverine? And his mutation started going. Mm-hmm. Just like people's, I guess, just like, and a lot of people were a little confused about that. Oh, well, he was born with it. Well, you were born with great eyesight, and
Slowly goes away.
The two guys sitting here, right here, are wearing glasses. You're born with great hearing, and they're, ask your grandpa to turn up his hearing aid.
What?
Exactly. You know what I mean? So maybe that's what happens. His mutation started, to falter a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it
and
happens.
Maybe he, it looks like he got into a lot of trouble, got into a few scraps. It looks like he was trying to go on a straight and narrow, so maybe he's not using it. So maybe it's one of those deals.
Yeah.
But that final scene with him up inside that tree, where a tree branch through his ribs.
Oh yeah.
And X-23 just hacking away at it to kind of let him go.
Yeah, that was terrible, man.
That was you remember 16 years. That was a piece of my childhood dying.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, man. Damn.
I was in high school when the first Wolverine,
right?
First X-Men film came out. We were in high school.
Yeah, we were like sophomores, man.
Yeah,
something like that.
And that was a piece of my childhood dying. And to see that cross at the end, and then have her turn it over into an X, which I thought was a great nod to the end of it.
Yeah, that was great.
Man, that like inside, I was like, I saw people literally saying, this is the first film that I've ever gone to see that I openly wept like a baby in front of women and children.
Oh, man. Why are there children in these theaters?
There should not have been children in those theaters. But I did tell you, I went to go see it, and lo and behold, there's like a 9 or 10-year-old girl sitting right in front of me, and I'm like, you have no clue what you're getting into right now.
She's either going to be like crazy or get into like UFC.
I hope that one day I hear an interview like for some young UFC fighter out of Staten Island, New York, and she's like, I went to go see this Wolverine movie. I sat in the Forest Avenue Theater, and I was like, I know her. She sat in front of me. This is what happens.
She'll probably say, yeah, right in front of this talkative guy.
I was not. Hey.
No,
you know me
know.
When I go to movies.
I know you're very respectable.
Yes,
thankfully.
Except we all were kind of bad when we went to go see the Punisher movie.
Were we?
Yeah.
My God.
But it was funny, so it was cool.
Oh, it was good commentary.
It was good commentary.
Okay. It's not like
the entire theater laughed, so that's good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we're.
I don't remember what we said, but yeah, whatever.
Something about when he. Okay. So it was when Frank Castle, after he kills the son, and John Travolta rolls down the window, and the guy hands him Frank Castle's file, and he's like, "Oh, we'll kill him," and then the wife pulls her head up, and she goes, his entire family.
Oh, yeah.
And me, you, and Jason Rutter all sat there and went, crazy bitch, at the exact same time.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
And
it was like we rehearsed it almost.
Yeah, like we had seen the movie before. But, that was good comedy. But, that was heart-wrenching. That was a piece of my childhood dying.
Oh, well, hey, that's what happens.
So, you obviously, I give it a 9. Yeah. I can't stop gushing about this film. I really can't. I think that it was, for me, it was one of the most perfect superhero films I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great movie.
So
why did I give it a 7?
Where are your 2 points knocked off on mine?
So, like I mentioned earlier, the yellow suit.
Okay.
Put him in the suit. Do it. Come on. It's his last movie. Even for a couple seconds. Maybe even a picture. Well,
flashback.
What they did give us? They gave us an action figure and a couple pictures actually of the comic.
Yeah.
So and then he shat on it and he was like, "What is this bullshit?"
Yeah, exactly.
He probably lit the comic so he can smoke one of his cigars like a savage.
I was really upset that he grabbed all those cigars and didn't
smoke
them.
Yeah.
I was a little upset about that.
That was another thing. And he didn't say bub.
I'm not happy about that either.
What's up with that? Anything. Even the guy in the gas station. Sorry, bub.
Yeah,
and then walk away.
Yeah.
That's it.
One time.
It's Wolverine. Remember?
Yeah.
Also, what was it else that I didn't like? Well, yeah, the villain was a little weak. I just wanted that doctor to die.
Yeah. Although,
annoying.
What I do have to say is what I did like was the fact that they had the doctor standing there doing his, evil speech, and in the middle of it, bam, dead. I love that because it was perfect. Because you always hear like that whole master villain speech, and you always like as a moviegoer, you're always like, why doesn't somebody just shoot him in the middle of that?
And thankfully, they answered that,
and they did it, and that was great.
That was good.
And I liked how Donald Pierce got killed by all the kids just combining all of their powers. And
what was that?
Oh my
they turned
God.
him into like a Swamp Thing, like popsicle.
Yeah, that was a violent, uncomfortable death.
Yeah, it was like grass just going into his body or something like
that. I don't know. He was being buried. He was being electrocuted. He was.
Yeah, it was like a buffet of like powers in a way.
Smorgasbord of superpowers.
My God,
so good.
Yeah, and you know what? So he didn't smoke the cigars. Lack of original costume. They should have even just. And I just wasn't impressed with X-24. You know, like
I agree.
You know, okay, sure, he was he was a clone. Why didn't they put him in the suit?
Yeah,
you know, just put that put that zombie like Wolverine into the suit. You know.
And I was mad that they went X-24. They should have just maybe they could have just humanized him a little bit more and said he had a son and it was Dakin. Like.
Oh yeah, they could have utilized Dakin right there.
Yeah,
that would have been good. You would have had a different like play of claws and
the idea that it's the father protecting his daughter from his son. Like that's even cooler.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been a little more personal, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe he was like the original test tube subject, and they couldn't get anybody else to be as brainwashed as him.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Except the fact that isn't Dakin in the comics gay?
Yeah, so it was.
No. I have no problem with it. What I'm saying is that they probably wanted they wouldn't have been able to really utilize that aspect of his character. Maybe that's why they shot away from it. Maybe they're like, nah, save him. We need him.
maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting concept. It's a possibility.
Yeah, maybe. But then again, if Wolverine's gone, what about Dakin?
Yeah, I guess is he alive? We don't know. Obviously, Wolverine had this kid and didn't even know about it. So
yeah, that's true. He's probably got a lot of kids.
He could. He slept with a lot of women, and he was alive for a really long time.
I know. God bless him.
Good for him. All right, so
Oh wait, before I forget, Wolverine went down one more point for me because they did not show what happened. What Professor X did.
Okay,
they should have showed it.
That's fair.
I'm pretty sure I saw an article online on Facebook. I think it was the director explaining why they didn't show it. I didn't bother to read it because I didn't want to hear it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you think about it this way. I guess maybe it would be expensive. They have to get every one of those cast members.
Yeah.
And yes, you could get no-name actors to dress up in the suits.
Or you could have had a bunch of rubble on the ground and have a couple you can tell if it's Colossus's foot or not.
Yeah,
you're not gonna mistake it for anyone else.
That's true. Or
Jubilee's glove under some rubble.
Nightcrawler's tail.
Yeah, just things like that.
And that would have been the perfect opportunity to put Wolverine in the suit.
Boom.
It was a flashback.
Oh yeah, him ripping the suit off or something like that.
Or him just in the suit and maybe it's ripping off of him as he's going to get to Professor X to figure out how to stop him from doing what he's doing. Maybe crack him in the mouth.
Yeah, maybe the suit could have been just this just been waiting there just for a situation like this. He puts it on and he's able to walk towards the professor as the suit shields him and breaks away, and then that's it. Give us the suit.
Do it. All right, so that's where it knocked down for you. But I mean, overall, you had to say
it was a great movie.
Yeah. I mean, all right, and
we're all a little. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say we're all still a little butthurt that, the cast from the Old Man Logan comic book pretty much is all owned by Marvel.
Exactly, and that's the biggest differential.
Missing a lot of people. That I just wanted to see that one scene of them driving through the highway and you see Giant Man, his skeleton remains just on the highway,
Right.
And Red Skull and all that. But yeah, it would have been too messy, but
it would have been a lot.
I get it.
All right, so you give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
What does this rank for you? Is this a top 5 superhero film? For you?
For what, this year or in general?
Overall.
Nah. I'm just gonna keep making sound effects like that
until you figure out what you want to say.
Let me think. You know what? Definitely within the top 10.
Okay.
Because it was a great storyline. It was good closure. And, just badass violence,
Yeah.
That's always good. And, a lot of F-bombs.
Yeah.
Violent
is all hell.
Oh, yeah.
For me, I think this squeaks in at maybe it's top 5 for me.
Top 5, huh? When I said top 10, I meant 10.
Yeah, I thought
the last
so.
One.
I think that it's hard to get better than the original Avengers film.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah. That was good.
Guardians. And the one that just came out, Civil War.
Oh yeah.
I think those are probably my top 4, and I guess this fights Deadpool for 5 for me.
Age of Ultron for me is really up there.
A lot of people didn't like Age of Ultron. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Like, he was a great villain.
He was a great villain. The story was good. Everything was perfect.
I thought he was a wonderful villain because he was charismatic. He was. How tall is he in the movie? I think in the script he's 8 feet tall.
He looks it.
I think he was set to be 8 feet tall in the movie, which is let me tell you something. Yeah, Jesus Christ, Shaq's looking up at him.
Yeah.
And plus then he's made out of adamantium.
Yeah.
I mean, not adamantium, excuse me, vibranium. Too much Logan in my head right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wait. You know what? I'm so sorry. Quick question. Logan shot himself with a adamantium bullet in his head. Was it like slowly poisoning him or something like that?
No, he had the bullet that he was going to do it.
Yeah, but then wasn't there something in his body already that was lodged in there?
No, I think they were saying that the adamantium itself was poisoning him.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I think that maybe that was something that was what was like killing him, and so he was coughing and stuff like that.
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay.
And maybe that's why, his deteriorating healing factor wasn't helping that either.
Yeah, I got some talkative people in my theater, so I kind of missed a couple things.
I hate that.
It's all right. I drop kicked her.
Good.
She was a kid.
She deserves it.
Yeah, she definitely did.
Why was there a kid in that movie theater?
Exactly. So realistically, it never actually happened because the kid wasn't allowed in there. So
perfect. So I mentioned that this fights Deadpool for the 5th spot. Real quick, that Deadpool teaser.
Oh man, brilliant! Immediately after he got pantsless in the phone booth, I said, "All right, well, this isn't my show. This is for the ladies. So let's look around. Let's see what Easter eggs are around here." And you saw on the phone booth they were talking about Nathan. I forgot Cable's name in the comics.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nathan Summers.
Yeah, I think yes.
Yeah,
because Scott Summers' father, right?
Boom. Yeah, Nathan Summers was here or something, or is coming.
Yeah,
that was cool. I saw the Logan in the background. The movie theater. That was pretty cool too. I can't remember any other Easter eggs though.
The Stan Lee.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. He told him like,
shut up, Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Which I think was great. You didn't see him, and that was the only cameo he had in that film.
That was good.
Yeah, they didn't have an actual Stan Lee cameo, and I think it was perfect because this movie kind of didn't call for it. Even still, I think people were laughing just because I think there were so many like uncomfortable things that people maybe thought were funny but weren't supposed to be. Like people were laughing when he was beating up the truck, and I was like, Charles just died. He just buried his mentor. Yeah. This isn't funny. He's flipping out.
Yeah.
He just lost like his father figure. Like,
I think he dropped like 4 F-bombs there.
Oh, he did.
Or 5.
He definitely did.
Yeah, probably 5.
And then the next 23 learned how to drive really quick.
Yeah, oh man, she was like a pro.
She's a better driver than my wife.
Ouch.
She'll tell you the same thing.
Aw.
So yeah, I loved it. I thought that the Deadpool teaser was perfect.
Was
and no after credit scene, but the before credit scene with Deadpool, I think kind of made up for it.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Cherry Garcia, was it?
Yes,
the ice cream flavor. That was good flavor.
Are you gonna eat this? Of course not. You're dead.
Exactly. I personally like fish food, but let's not get into that.
I'm actually a big fan of Half Baked, but it's just me.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Good movie too.
I want some now.
But let's not get off too top. The topic. Right?
All right. So, final words. Would you
give us the yellow suit? What's up with that?
I mean, we know that this is it for Hugh Jackman. So, just for me, thank you to Hugh Jackman and to Patrick Stewart for
thanks.
16 years of playing Wolverine and Professor X.
You guys are super dedicated.
Yeah, there's not many people who would take these roles and make them their own. And when it comes to casting, these were two of the most perfectly casted heroes that we've ever gotten. This was Fox, well before Marvel, had gotten into the game and doing their own films. This was Fox, who did a great job. And thank you to them for being just fantastic representations of our childhood heroes.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. I mean, entertainment to the finest.
Yep.
We need the yellow suit, though.
We do need a yellow suit. And so, as we know, I always close my my shows with a comic of the week. So
it was up to me to pick it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I could just say, I could just turn around and say, why? Just read Old Man Logan. I really could. But everyone's going to read it anyway.
Which is something that everybody should do.
You really should. Just give it a good read. It's not for kids, okay?
Stop it, children.
Christ, I don't have to stress that anymore.
No.
But if I were to pick a comic, let's see, Mark Miller did a big part in Old Man Logan. So I'm gonna jump with a DC comic. Ooh. The comic of the week should be, I think it should be the Super Crooks.
There we go, Mark Miller's Super Crooks. Let's see that's cool because I think last week because of you, I picked a Mark Miller comic as well.
Oh yeah, which one was it? Nemesis, was it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, did you read it yet?
I did not. I am.
Oh God, so good.
We will talk about that as soon as I am done with it.
Oh man, but really, check out Super Crooks if you like Avengers and you like Ocean's 11. Yeah, it's pretty much taking both of these and mashing it together. I don't know why it's not a movie yet. I mean, we got Wanted. We got what other movies did he? Oh my God, the one with the Secret Service. I forget the name of it. Oh my God, it's the tip of my tongue. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh my God!
Everyone's listening and just saying it out loud.
Yeah, everybody who's gonna be listening to this is gonna be like, it's this, obviously. And now, of course, I can't think of it.
Oh, my God. I know. I hate when that happens. Tip of my tongue. Are you going to Google it?
Of course I am.
Sweet.
What the hell? We can't sit
Don't
here.
hit your radios yelling out the answer, okay? We can't hear you.
We know it.
Just call in. 555-5555.
Okay. I'm looking them up now. Oh, I spelled his name wrong. This is getting even worse. Vamp for me. Vamp. So yeah, I mean that's a really good pick for comic of the week.
Yeah, check out Super Crooks. Because Mark, such a great.
Here's the thing. I'm a Kick-Ass was him.
Oh
also.
Yeah, Kick-Ass was another one, and there's something Secret Service. I still haven't watched the movie. Great book though.
Well, we'll get into that. But Mark Miller, you're a Mark Miller fan, which is cool.
Yeah. He's great.
I was always a Brian Michael Bendis fan. And that was always a big differentiation between the two of us. So I'm starting to get to appreciate Mark Miller's work a little bit more because I was always a Brian Michael Bendis fan. Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Boom, that's the one. Oh my God. Thank God you found it. I was going to go crazy.
And Mark Miller, for everybody else who doesn't know this, Mark Miller was one of the writers on Civil War, too.
Yeah.
So if you like Civil War and you want to see, what's cool is that the way you actually described Nemesis to me and you've described Super Crooks is they're one-shots.
Yeah,
so
which is great.
It's like watching a movie.
Exactly. You pick up a Mark Miller comic book and, check out Miller World. I think that's a website, but type it in on Google. You'll find it real easy. But yeah, his comics, you open that first page, and I guarantee you'll read the whole thing through. Obviously, if the story captures you, because it's a one-shot deal. You don't have to go out and buy another comic book to find out what happened or any of the side quests or any of that. It's just one book, one read, boom, enjoy it. Because once it's over, it is over, and that's it. His comics are so good that when I did buy them, I bought the volumes. Okay. I don't want no issues. And I had to give them away, and re-buy them as hardcovers because I want them forever
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so good. Super Crooks. Check it out. Really good stuff.
Perfect. I think what I want to do one day is have you come back, and I want us to actually do a just maybe not a full show, maybe just a portion of the show on just the idea of collecting comics, because I think that's it's something that a lot of people seem to be moving away from. There's a lot of digital comics coming out.
Yeah.
And I know me and you were collectors, and we've always been that way, and I like that. So I think maybe that's another interesting topic that we can kind of delve into, maybe even just for a couple of minutes, just to, I think it's a cool thing.
Yeah. The thing is to me is that comic books still hold a lot of value to me because it's physically in your hand.
Agreed.
You don't have an illuminating screen in your eyes. And plus, when you're reading a book, you can get sucked into it a lot better. And, you're more focused in, because if you're reading it on your tablet, assuming, it's connected to your social media, you're going to get, like, notifications and such.
And all of a sudden, it's like, no, man, this guy, Tom tagged me in something on Facebook. It's probably disgusting. Let me see what that is.
Yeah. Or delicious. And
or delicious, yes. That is a good point.
Man, I love those food things.
They're so good.
I know. God.
All right. Well, this is officially the longest podcast I have ever done.
I'm quite entertaining, I guess.
Apparently. So we're going to cut it here.
Cool.
Guys, Super Crooks. Read that.
Yeah.
Logan, if you haven't seen it, go see it. If you did see it, screw it. Go see it again.
Yeah. Even if you're going to see it in matinee, so you don't have to pay that much. Just do it.
Support. Support. And
buy the bootleg copy off of the guy at the nail salon.
There you go. Just make sure you see it before you buy the bootleg copy.
Yeah, please.
Give them their money.
Yeah. They worked hard.
Exactly. So once again, thank you to Hugh Jackman. Yep. Thank you to Patrick Stewart. Mm-hmm. And thank you to Tom Melendez.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for having me, man.
No problem. We're definitely going to do this again.
Cool.
So this is the Geek Guy Podcast. I'm Albert Albanese, and we will see you guys next time.
I want the yellow suit.
Do it. Thanks for listening to the Geek Guy Podcast, right here on the Slam Sessions Podcast Network. You can follow us on Twitter @the Slam Sessions. We'll see you guys next time, and may the Force be with you.